Hey up YouTube, welcome back to a new video with Rams fan YT. Sorry for the messed up intro there. I seem to have forgot what I was saying halfway through. And today we're looking at the penultimate club of Series 2 of A History of Your Club. I know it's sad, but we'll have a Series 3, not too far in the future. But today we're going to be looking at the history of Watford, or the football club of it anyhow, not the actual town. But the origins of the club can be traced back to 1881, when Watford Rovers were formed by Henry Grover, who went on to play for the club as a fullback. Rovers, originally composed entirely of amateur players, held home games at several locations in the town of Watford. The team first competed in the FA Cup in the 1886-87 season, and in the 1889, it was not a season, it was just in 1889, Watford won the County Cup for the first time. The team became the football section of the West Hertfordshire Club and Ground in 1891, and consequently moved to a ground on Cassio Road. In 1893, Watford Rovers changed their name to West Herts, and in 1896, they joined the Southern Football League. West Herts' fortune slumped at the start of the 1897-98 season, and attendances were less than 200. They took a bold step to turning professional, and their fortunes revived. Watford St Mary's were runners-up in the Hertfordshire Senior Cup on the 1894-95 season and attracted crowds of 400 to 500, even when West Herts were at home. The two clubs talked of an amalgamation, which ultimately occurred on the 15th of April 1898. This was reported by the Watford Observer of the 7th of May 1898. It was agreed that the two clubs should complete their remaining fixtures for the season, and the new club was named Watford Football Club. Following relegation to the Southern League Second Division in 1903, Watford appointed its first manager, former England international First Division top scorer John Goodall. I'm pretty certain played for Derby at one point. He led Watford to promotion and kept the team in the division until his departure in 1910. Despite financial constraints, Watford won the Southern League title in the 1914-15 season. Under his successor, Harry Kent, Watford held the title for 5 years, following the suspension of the Southern League during the First World War. After finishing the 1919-20 season runners-up on goal average, the club resigned from the Southern League to join the new Football League Third Division. From 1921-22, the third tier of the Football League consisted of two parallel sections of 22 clubs, fighting both for promotion to the Second Division and also battling to hold on to their league status. There was a re-election system in place, which meant the bottom two teams in each of the two divisions had to apply for re-election to the league. Watford finished outside the top 6 league positions in every season between 1922 and 1934. Following Kent's departure in 1926, they finished 21st out of 22 clubs in 1926-27. I think it was meant to say 24 then. I think I've mistyped that. But were unanimously re-elected to the league after a ballot of clubs in the top 2 divisions of the Football League. By contrast, under Neil McBain and subsequently Ben Findlay, the team recorded 5 consecutive top 6 finishes between 1934-35 and 1938-39. And won the Football League Third Division South Cup in 1937. The Football League was suspended in 1939 due to the Second World War. Football resumed in 1946, with Watford still in the Third Division South. A 23rd placed finish in 1950-51 meant the club had to apply for re-election to the league once more. But again, teams in the first and second divisions unanimously voted for Watford to stay in the league. McBain returned in 1956, and the team remained in the division until 1958. The league was restructured into 4 national divisions for the 1958-59 season, and Watford were replaced in the 4th division. Ron Burgess replaced McBain during that season, and in the following campaign, Burgess presided over Watford's first Football League promotion. This team included 4th Division top scorer Cliff Holton, who scored a club record 42 league goals in the season. Holton was sold to Northampton the following year after another 34 goals, to the anger of supporters. Burgess was succeeded by Bill McGarry, who brought new players such as Charlie Livesey and Ron Saunders, and in his only season at the club, led the club to what was at the time its highest ever league position, 3rd in the 3rd Division. 18-year-old Northern Irish goalkeeper Pat Jennings also featured under McGarry and made his international debut despite being a 3rd Division player. McGarry joined Ipswich in 1964 and was replaced by player-manager Ken Furphy from Workington. Furphy rebuilt the team around players such as Keith Eddy and Dennis Bond. But after holding Liverpool to a draw in the FA Cup and narrowly failing to win promotion in 1966-67, Bond was sold to Tottenham Hotspur for £30,000, Watford's record transfer receipt at the time. Furphy's rebuilding came to fruition in 1969 with the signing of Barry Endine, whose arrival marked the start of an unbeaten run after Christmas. Watford secured the 3rd Division title in April at home to Plymouth Argyle. A year later, Watford reached the FA Cup semi-final for the first time, defeating 1st Division teams Stoke City and Liverpool along the way. Hampered by a lack of funds, however, Furphy eventually joined Blackburn Rovers, to be succeeded by George Kirby. Forced to sell players to survive, Watford fell back into the 3rd Division in 1972. The team continued to struggle in the 3rd tier, and despite a managerial change, Watford were relegated again in 1975. The lifelong Watford supporter Elton John became club chairman in 1976. The singer declared an ambition to take the team into the 1st Division and sacked Kirby's successor Mike Keane in April 1977 when Graham Taylor was named as Keane's successor. The club was still in the 4th Division. Taylor achieved promotion in his first season, with Watford winning the 4th Division title, recording the most wins, fewest defeats, most goals scored, and fewest goals conceded of any side in the division. Promotion to the 2nd Division followed in 1978-79, and Ross Jenkins finished the season as the league's top scorer with 29 goals. Watford consolidated with 18th and 9th place finishes over the following 2 seasons, and secured promotion to the 1st Division for the first time in 1981-82, finishing 2nd behind rivals Luton Town. Watford started the 1982-83 season with 4 league wins from the opening 5 fixtures. In the space of 7 years, the club had climbed from the bottom place in the lowest division of the Football League to top position in the highest division. Watford were unable to maintain a title challenge, but eventually finished the season second behind Liverpool, which ensured UEFA Cup qualification for the following season. Luther Blissett finished the season as the 1st Division top scorer, before signing for Italian Serie A side Milan for £1 million at the end of the season. An FA Cup final appearance followed in the 1984 fixture, where they lost to Everton. After guiding Watford to a 9th place finish in 1986-87, Taylor left the club to manage Aston Villa. Following Taylor's departure, Wimbledon manager Dave Bassett was appointed as his replacement, and England winger John Barnes was sold to Liverpool. After 4 wins from his opening 23 league fixtures, Bassett was sacked in January 1988. Watford were bottom of the 1st Division at the time of his departure, and Steve Harrison could not prevent the relegation at the end of the season. In 1988-89, Harrison's Watford failed to return to the 1st Division after defeating the 2nd Division playoffs. The under-18 team, though, did win the FA Youth Cup, beating Manchester City 2-1 after extra time, with future England international David James in goal for the Hornets. Harrison departed in 1990, and over the next few years, the closest Watford came to promotion was a 7th place finish in Division 1. In the 1994-95 season, however, in the following season, Glenn Roeder's third as manager, Watford struggled, despite the return of Graham Taylor as caretaker manager in February 1996. The club was relegated to Division 2. Following the relegation, Taylor became director of football, with former Watford midfielder Kenny Jackett as manager. After a mid-table finish in Division 2 in 1996-97, Jackett was demoted to the position of assistant manager. Taylor returned as manager and won the second division title in 1997-98, Watford's second league title under his management. A second successive promotion followed in 1998-99, thanks to a 2-0 playoff final victory over Bolton Wanderers. Watford's first Premiership season started with an early victory over Liverpool, but Watford's form soon faded, and the club was relegated after finishing bottom. Graham Taylor retired at the end of the 2000-2001 season and was replaced by Gianluca Vialli. Wage bills at the club rose by £4 million during Vialli's tenure, and the club finished 14th in the division in 2001-2. Vialli was sacked at the end of the season following a dispute with the club's board over a wage bill. He was replaced by Ray Lewington, who had joined the club the previous summer as Vialli's reserve team manager. Watford's weak financial position was exposed in 2002-03, following the collapse of ITV Digital. The club was facing administration, but an agreement by players and staff to a 12% wage deferral helped the club's cash flow, and a run to the FA Cup semi-final generated vital revenue. Financial constraints saw a large number of players released that summer. After consolidating in 2003-04, the following season started well, with the club in the upper half of the Championship at the end of September. Poor form, however, saw the club drop towards the relegation zone. Despite reaching the semi-final of the League Cup, Watford's league form did not improve, and Lewington was sacked in March 2005. His successor, A.D. Boothroyd, led the club to Championship survival. Watford finished third in the league in Boothroyd's first full season, and defeated Leeds United 3-0 in the playoff final to gain promotion to the Premier League. But the team did not record a Premier League win until November, and Ashley Young was sold to Aston Villa for a club record fee of £9.65 million in January 2007. Watford finished bottom after only winning 5 league games, but did reach the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Boothroyd continued as manager and spent heavily on players, including a then club record of £3.25 million for Nathan Ellington. Watford led the Championship by several points early in 2007-08, but only finished 6th. Boothroyd's team were defeated 6-1 on aggregate by Hull City in the playoff semi-finals. Boothroyd left the club by mutual consent 3 months into the 2008-09 season, with Watford 21st in the Championship table. Under Boothroyd's successor, Brendan Rodgers, Watford finished 13th. Rodgers left to manage Reading at the end of the season, and Malky Mackay, who had previously served as caretaker manager, was his replacement. Amid the departures of several key players during Mackay's tenure, including Tommy Smith and Jay Demerit, and the club coming close to administration, Watford finished 16th in 2009-10 and 14th the following season. Mackay left to manage Cardiff City in June 2011 and was replaced by Sean Dyche. Despite presiding over Watford's highest league position in 4 years, Dyche was dismissed as Watford manager in July 2012. He was replaced by former Italy international Gianfranco Zola, following the Pozzo family purchase of the club. In the 2012-13 season, Watford finished 3rd in the Championship and reached the playoff final, where they were defeated in the final by Crystal Palace 1-0 by an extra time penalty by Kevin Phillips. The following season, Giuseppe Sannino replaced Zola as their new manager, and the team finished the season in 13th place. Sannino resigned at the start of the 2014-15 season and was replaced by Oscar Garcia, who left shortly afterwards for health reasons. Billy McKinlay replaced him and won his first game in charge 2-1 against Brentford. before a 1-1 draw with Brighton and Hove Albion. Despite the team getting 4 points out of a possible 6 under his stewardship, the club decided to replace McKinley just 8 days into his tenure with Slavica Jokanovic. With Jokanovic managing the team, Watford on the 25th of April 2015 gained promotion to the Premier League after defeating Brighton 2-0 and other results going their way. However, they failed to win their final game of the season against Sheffield Wednesday, thus allowing Bournemouth to win the Championship title in the season's finale. Jokanovic and Watford did not renew his 1-year contract, and the manager was replaced in June 2015 by Spaniard Quique Sanchez Flores. Watford's first fixture in their return to the Premier League was a 2-2 away draw with Everton. In the 2015-16 season, Watford reached the semi-finals of the FA Cup with a goal by midfielder Adlene Guardiola against Arsenal at Emirates Stadium, ending Arsenal's bid to win the competition for 3 successive times, and finished 13th in the Premier League. Near the end of the season in May 2016, Sanchez Flores and the club enacted a break clause in his contract. He was replaced by Italian coach Walter Mazzarri, who signed a 3-year contract. At the end of next season, in May 2017, Watford finished 17th and Mazzarri resigned, replaced by Marco Silva. The new coach was sacked after approximately 6 months in January 2018, and the club hired Javi Gracia. After 4 games of being in charge in the 2019-20 season, Gracia was sacked due to poor form in the league. 30 minutes after he was sacked, former Watford manager Quique Sanchez Flores was yet again appointed. He survived only until the 1st of December 2019, after getting only 1 win since his appointment in September. A caretaker manager was appointed for 1 game before Nigel Pearson came into management. He led the Hornets from out of the running to back in contention, but was sacked with 2 games to play. In April 2019, Watford came back from 2-0 down to beat Wolverhampton Wanderers to reach the FA Cup final for the 2nd time in their history, with Gerard Dialloufou scoring twice and Troy Deeney scoring a penalty in the 94th minute to take it to extra time. After a 4-1 loss to West Ham on the last league game of the season, Watford confirmed their highest ever points tally and finished in the English Premier League football of 50 points and 11th place respectively. Although they did finish second with 71 points in 71 points in the 1982-83 season of the English Football League. In February 2020, Watford defeated Liverpool in a Premier League match, ending Liverpool's unbeaten run of 44 top-flight games in a row and 18 victories in a row. They were relegated to Championship at the end of the season, however, following a 19th place finish, just 1 point from safety. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you're new around here. That would be hugely appreciated. I have got loads more coming up. I've got the best League One transfers coming up on Friday. And then I'll have the last of this series, History of Your Club, with Wycombe Wanderers. That will be an interesting one. So thank you very much for watching.